Hello, welcome to episode 17 of Music is None of Our Business with me, no DJ name as yet.
You've forgotten what yours
and
was.
what were you? You were DJ Shit Pump.
I was
Weren't
DJ
you?
Shit Pump, and then there was Jungle Face Jake to start with. DJ Shit Pump, yes, because of the Terminal Cheesecake song.
See, I was going to be yes, and I somehow when I was trying to remember your name, I came up with MC Crabstick, and I have no idea where that came from. And I just thought MC Crabstick was a
So
really
apt.
good
I
fucking
like
MC name. So I'll be MC Crabstick because obviously we've got DJ Substance and Brooklyn Pete from our good friends from America who do the greatest playlist ever and always chat about us and say how much they are. And I was actually listening to the latest episode this morning, and it was a really good one. Except obviously it was more than 5 minutes ago, so I can't remember what I voted for. I voted for a Beach House track on their play because they're quite sophisticated and that you can vote for things. I've started.
I was just going to say, what platform are they using? Are they on?
They're on all of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're on.
Okay.
Yeah, you can pretty much find them all over the place. They have a vote on the song. They actually play the songs.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck about copyright.
They're in the
They
States.
don't. They're just like, no, we're just gonna go ahead and do it. Yeah, and yeah. So I voted on that. I've actually started putting on the Spotify
Platform.
platform. You can actually add a you can do votes on various things. You have a poll.
Okay.
And I keep putting them and everyone just fucking ignores them. So the last one, it was are there enough cats in the video? Before that it was how did you find this? And it was like something like Instagram, Facebook, demonic forces, someone who hates me sent me a link or something. And then this week I've done when should you put your Christmas decorations up? And it was October, November, December. I fucking hate Christmas, never, and something something along those lines. So if anyone can be bothered, but we get a few more comments on Facebook nowadays. Okay. We've actually got 112 Facebook members.
Okay.
And I am trying to be a bit more active on there, and but not that many comments, which is, I'll get a fair few comments on Instagram.
Okay.
In fact, there's a few because I was talking to Julia Sophie the other day, and she reads through her comments and answers them. So when they're particularly nasty ones, like, oh, this is bland Taylor Swift bollocks or something. That was what she actually says, hi, thanks you guys. Hi, Julia Sophie here, and guilts them into,
Nice.
It makes them feel guilty, which is brilliant. In fact, I meant to tell her there's one on there today, and it was just a bloke had done a being sick emoji.
Oh dear.
And I was thinking I was going to go, Jules, get on there and sort him out. But
what's the point?
Yes,
what's the point of just
well,
getting in touch to be obnoxious?
Yes, well, as we were talking just before we started recording, there's been a few iffy comments on there, and I can't be bothered. I don't want to get into arguments with people. I just block them. Lots of things about. I was accused of being woke, and it's like, yeah, and but I couldn't be bothered. I didn't want to go into it. I'd rather be woke than be a twat or anything like that. So I just blocked him. I was just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, you can go.
I think a lot of people who throw random allegations out that you're woke. I don't think they really know what woke is. It's their own little kind of insults that they feel part of a group.
Yeah.
Part of a gang.
It's like ow! Oh, stubbed my toe. That brick's woke. It's It's that kind of ridiculousness, isn't it? You know, it's woke, isn't it? It's woke. You know.
I was saying earlier, I think these people who have a vacuum between their ears, if they hear somebody out there say, you know, you're woke or you're this or you're that, it kind of fills the vacuum and they accept it as their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even they haven't got a fucking clue what they're talking about. Never mind.
Absolutely, yes, yes. You could probably tell, listeners, we had a proper rant just before the site, just about the state of the world and everything. So we try. So we've got rid of all that, and they're all cheery. We're cheery fellas, and we're doing we're doing five great songs that we just like, and just thought, oh, you know, I think I fancy talking about that, and you know why I like that song. So
yeah.
So it's your turn to go first, isn't it? Because I know for a fact that we won't, of all the songs. Well, there's no way
we couldn't possibly have any crossovers this time.
No, I'm not even going to do a pretend one. I'm not even going to do it. Oh my God! What? That obscure Japanese noise, but I was going to have. Oh,
I don't think I've got no obscure Japanese noise on it this time. I've gone for a selection of tracks that I really, really like. So they've got a range of things today. But the first one I've got on here is a track called Out Here by a band called Him, H-I-M. Now, before you start pulling faces,
I'm not. I know the name.
Yes, this is not the quite famous Finnish soft goth rock band who yes, I don't know much about them other than that they exist, but they are certainly...
And they're Finnish, and they do soft goth. That's about it. I don't know what's soft goth. Is that like Fleetwood Mac dressed in black or something? Or...
No, it's got Placebo, I suppose, or I don't know. It's not kind of a genre that I'm terribly well acquainted, and nor do I intend to. But this Him...
Fair enough. Well, you tell me about Him.
This Him, it is a band, H-I-M. It's really annoying, these bands sharing names, really. I think last time we were talking about Skin, and they had to change their name because of Skin, the metal band, and Skin, the punk band, or whatever. But this is a US...
The English Beat.
The Beat
had to change their name to the English. And Suede as well. What was Suede? Suede had to change there. Were they English Suede or London Suede?
Oh, there's been loads of them.
Suede had to be... Yeah, Suede were London Suede in the States.
There's been loads of them. Panasonic had a problem because they was an electronic company. They had to change their name to Pansonic.
Yeah. The Comsat Angels, they got in trouble as well, didn't they? For the Comsat bit.
There's another whole discussion there, isn't there?
Yeah, sorry. I'm afraid Trivia Dave reared his ugly head then. And
I'm just thinking about that. When back in the early 80s, you had this book. I don't know if you still got it or whether you've updated it, but there was a book you'd bought, and it got all these different bands in it. And I think the only thing I can remember from it, that there were 4 or 5 bands called the Cunts.
Yes. Do you know what? I don't have it anymore because I was having to clear it. I think I sold it on eBay years ago, and for quite a lot of money as well. But there were a few, and I'll never forget there was a band called the Nunfuckers as well, which I thought was really. I just thought that was really. There were some great band names in there. Some great band names. It was. I can't remember what it was called. It was like the discography of the new wave or something.
Was it just new wave bands? Because it was quite a big book, wasn't it?
It was punk, new wave. Yeah, you know, these bands, those kind of books are great fun. There's a punk one. This guy in Italy did a punk one, and he did one pressing of it or one printing of it, and that was it. And these fucking things go for like 400 quid on eBay. But it looks lush. I can't remember what it's called now. But it looks fantastic. It's just got every English punk record. I think is it 7 inches but I think it's 7 inches and other things. So the cat's just doing something weird in the sink.
Oh, so is that something weird as in generating some waste?
I don't know. It's just like, what are you doing? Come on. Sorry. God, you'd think after we'd be a bit more professional than me talking to the cat, but unfortunately that's That's how we
I don't
roll.
envisage a great deal of professionalism on our horizon, to be honest. What's this podcast? Podcast number 17. We don't seem to be learning a great deal. We're not finally honing our craft, are we?
I posted up the new one today, and I obviously I have to have a listen to it. You send it to me, and I listen through it and that, and I was listening to it thinking, right, all I ever do is say,
Yeah, I do that. I do that as well.
And then never finish a sentence. A sentence, the whole thing is just like, you can imagine them having a class going, this is what an ADHD person sounds like when they're doing a podcast. And I was sitting there today going, I'm going to try really hard to talk properly, get through a sentence, not stop halfway through and start talking about something else. And it's so, because all of a sudden I just kind of get all excited and go, oh no!
There's just so much you want to say that it overtakes your vocal cords, isn't it? Yeah. But
it does.
I when I listen back when I'm editing it, I keep hearing myself saying, all the time, and I kind of think, what does that even mean? People don't know. That's what I'm telling you. What do I fucking keep saying?
I know. It's just a little bit of punctuation, isn't it? It's self-punctuating while you're just thinking of the rest of that sentence. I think. Right, so for the rest of this one, I'm going to speak in whole sentences and not go whizzing off in the middle one. And neither of us are going to say,
We shall see.
You know?
Okay, so back to the plot then after our very early stage meander into the long grass. So him then, this is a US post-rock group with jazz sensibilities. Formed in 1995 by Doug Sharin, who ex-drummer with Codeine, amongst others, and Bundy K. Brown, who was one of the founding members of Tortoise. And there are similarities.
I saw Codeine a couple of years ago.
Well, in your bathroom medical cabinet.
Yes, funnily enough. Yeah, I was just looking. I was looking for my hemorrhoid cream, and there it was right next to it. No, I went down to London to the garage in Highbury, is it, to see Codeine. But yeah, very good. They were really good. I really enjoyed it.
Funnily enough, when
carry on. I digress.
When we were talking about doing one on gigs, I had to think about gigs, and there's a number of great gigs I've been to at the garage. I haven't been there for years and years and years, but that was a shit hot place for a long while on our radar, but won't digress again. So, you saw Codeine. I don't know much about Codeine, but Bundy K. Brown, co-founder of Tortoise. I do know something of Tortoise now, for quite a number of Tortoise records, and him do share a lot of the musical stylizations of Tortoise. It's that rock, jazzy kind of feel, that laid-back feel. This track, it's a brilliant track, I think, and I've got quite a number of Tortoise records and him records, but this one stands out. Partially, perhaps, because it was the first one I heard by him, and it was featured on a cover mount disc with the Wire magazine. At which time this track was untitled, so it was relatively new, and it didn't appear on a record other than the Wire cover mount record until 2001, when it appeared on New Features album on Fat Cat Records, which is a really good album. So it starts off as a cascade of drums, and again, I do love these fluid drummers. I talked about Ground Zero, completely different band a few episodes away, but the fluidity that some drummers are able to create and project, that effortless flow of the way they play, it's truly brilliant. And the drumming.
Does that influence your drumming at all?
My drum is very fluid because I drop sticks, fall off of a stool, and but it's like I'm drumming on a sinking boat.
So you're more the Gavin Bryars Titanic.
That's kind of. Yes, Panic Frenzy. Yeah. Yes, I was never a great drummer. I don't know how I got away with it for as long as I did, but I still am in awe of people who just naturally have that aptitude. Is great, and certainly Sharin does. I haven't heard a lot of Codeine. I don't know whether the drumming in Codeine is similarly styled, but in him it really works because it's got that, really makes it that kind of cool jazz feel.
Codeine's kind of more, I mean, it's more slowcore,
right?
I think,
okay.
you know. So
not
there's
likely
not.
Then.
I mean, no. I mean, it is. It's hard. It's hard to say. I mean, I'm not by no means a drum aficionado, but given that it's very slow likely, music, I don't know. I suppose there must be some kind of skill in drumming slowly. I don't really know.
You did try drumming once, but in the very first incarnation of Initial Prayer, I think you had a crack at drumming.
Yeah,
I think you wanted to be the drummer, and after about 20 seconds, we all established that was never going to happen.
Yeah. I've actually got one of those little electronic drum kits.
Have you?
Just to have it, and I can do a rudimentary beat, but as with most things, when you have when you do have ADHD, you think, oh, I'm going to do drumming, and after about 20 minutes, you go, right, done that, I'm going to do something else now, and you just don't have that concentration to actually keep up.
You got to focus. You got to focus. Get your 10,000 hours of practice in to be.
I've already caught myself saying,
Yes, I didn't even notice it. I might have done it myself. I don't know. It's just there, isn't it?
Quite possibly.
It's just part of our lexicon, that phrase. But never mind.
What we need is we need some kind of app. We need a app that will ping every time we say it. We'll go ping, shut up, you twat, or something, and catch us saying.
I'm sure there are AI tools that are out there that could do whatever you wanted them to. But I don't. I did
concentrate really hard on that last sentence. I don't know whether you noticed or not, and it was a really long one. Right, okay. So I'm really quite proud of myself.
All that will happen, Dave, is I will edit them all back in again. I'll just drop lots of into your.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you got cool drums, they tumble in to start with, and then this really nice bass riff comes in. Again, it's one of those things that's very simple, but it repeats over and over like a loop, and it's really cool. Guitars, very light touch, not in your face, and then horns as well, which carry the main melody. It's all unfussy, but it's everything that's needed, and it's got a really cool vibe. Drops down for a slight solo or two, but they're not hugely flash solos. They're not in your face, look what I can do solos. It's just a great instrumental with a great feel. It is nearly 11 minutes long, but it doesn't feel that long because there's quite lots happening. But I just love it. I just love it. So I heard that track, went out and bought the album. It's great. I've seen it and bought a number of other of him's albums, but I think they've fizzled out now because the most recent one was 2009. I don't really know what's happened to them or why, or whether they're doing different things, but they did have a great run of albums, and that track, though, amongst them all, stands out greatly.
Okay, well, if it's since 2009, I think you can pretty much say there's more than a hiatus. That seems like a definite.
Yeah, it's not writer's block, is it?
Yeah, we won't bother. Yeah. No, not really. No, that's definitely can't be asked anymore. So, yeah, excellent. Okay, well, my first one is I've picked this one because this remains one of my favourite songs of all time.
You're not one for hyperbole.
It's relatively. I'm not. No, I mean it's one of those songs that kind of the first time I heard it, I'm very much a fan of. If I hear something the first time and it makes the hairs on the back of my neck stand up, then that that's the proper. I don't think you can get better than that. And this is called Ageless Beauty by a band called Stars. Stars are what exactly? Yeah, who's ever heard of Stars? Not me. They're a band from Canada, formed in 2000. This single was released in 2005. I have absolutely no recollection of where I first heard it. I have a feeling I may have seen the video because it's got a really good video. It's very 2005. It's very low budget. It's just got a really lovely vibe to it. Of kind of a, it's one of those. It's very predictable. It's a girl. She's at a party. She looks all quite, she's. I can't think of a nice way to put it. She's like not one of the popular girls. She's not a cheerleader. She's there, but there's something about her, And throughout the video, it becomes more and more apparent. And then at the end, she just pulls open her jumper and radiates light.
Oh,
and it's like.
She's a nuclear source.
Great.
Radiation.
She is, yes. She's Dr. I can't remember, Dr. Manhattan
from the Manhattan Project.
From Watchmen. But it's just such a fabulous song. And it's kind of indie pop rock, but every now and again during the chorus there's this absolute maelstrom of shoegaze guitars going on in the background, and it kind of catches, and I think it was some time before you how can I put this, so it's one of those songs where there are lots of different elements to it, and there are certain ones you concentrate on, and then all of a sudden you go, hold on, there's loads of guitars going in the background. It's the melody, the chorus, just the absolute fantasticness of it, I found the lyrics online a few years ago, realised I'd been singing it wrong. I just made up my own bloody lyrics for it, basically. And it's about, I think it is very, very much about what the video portrays. I think it is about being, people being cruel to people and just holding on because there's always a light, there's always something there. So it's quite uplifting lyrically as well. For a change, not melancholy. You'll be glad to hear it's not a melancholy song. I know. I just love it. I put it on. Every time I do a playlist on Spotify, I always end up bunging it on there. It's just one of those songs that I could sit and listen to all bloody day. To be perfectly honest, I absolutely adore it.
Have you got other stuff by? Have you got other stuff by Stars then? Or
Nope, never. The album is okay. The album it's from is okay. It's just one of those songs that just comes from absolutely nowhere and just knocks you dead. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. They're not a bad band. They're not. It's the rest of the stuff is more than adequate. To good.
It's a high accolade indeed. And you go, we're more than adequate. Oh, hurrah!
I think these are the best kind of songs. They just come from nowhere. You kind of can't quite work it. There's no real shoegaze kind of types of music elsewhere, I don't think. But then again, I've not really listened to the album enough. I just listened to that single and I love it. There's a remix of it that's fucking awful. Dear.
Who remixed it? Well, they remixed it themselves.
Well, it's more of a demix. So they've got the song and put this plucked guitar underneath it.
Okay.
And it's like, what were you fucking thinking?
A lot of people do that though, don't they? They take quite noisy, upbeat tracks and they deconstruct them to something that's slower and more intimate. And that seems to be a de rigueur approach.
Yeah, but they've just deconstructed it something more slower and more shit. Which I'm pretty sure isn't how remixes should work.
Probably not the intention, certainly. No.
But it's just such a fabulous song. I absolutely adore it. Absolutely adore it.
It's an odd name, isn't it? You would think that with a name like Stars, either they're incredibly immodest or there's probably lots and lots of other bands out there called Stars, like we talked about before.
Yeah,
if you mean
absolutely.
Celestial
Perhaps
Bodies.
That'd be Stars Canada.
Stars on 45.
Yeah, but trying to give me flashbacks to the 80s now. Someone somewhere had done. I read somewhere the other day about guilty pleasures, and it might have been my friend Richard, and he put Jive Bunny. And I nearly drove over to Peterborough and fucking stabbed him, to be perfectly honest. I was like, there's guilty pleasures, and there's
obscenities.
There's just punishable by death. So Richard, if you don't ever mention Jive Bunny to me, ever.
I can't even remember it. I can remember it was a big thing and it was a terrible piece of music, hardly music. But I can't remember how it goes. Don't hum it, for goodness sake.
I know I don't, but I didn't have Glenn Miller or something.
Was it all chop ups?
Was that the one with the
chop up bits, wasn't it?
Oh, it was fucking dreadful. Whatever. Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, I think I've expunged it from my memory.
It made someone a few quid laugh, I suppose.
It's like things you expunge from your memory. Getting molested and Jive Bunny. I think they're about the two, aren't they? Really.
Draw it out with a deep hypnosis. Oh God. Oh dear, oh dear.
Oh, dear.
Okay.
In fact, I think I prefer to be
You're gonna get letters. You know.
I know. I'm really sorry.
Okay. That's your number one.
Yeah.
Then.
So that's my number one.
Okay. My number two, off a different angle entirely. This is a song called "Little Water Song," and it's by Ute Lemper. German chanteuse, who I was introduced to by a friend about 30 years ago.
Weren't they the little people in Willy Wonka? Have I got that?
Yes, Oompa Loompa, that's what I meant. Have you not heard of Ute Lemper? I didn't know whether you'd heard of Ute Lemper or not. But so the song's Little Water Song. It's the opening track on her 2000 album, The Punishing Kiss. And it is a beautiful, beautiful, haunting song. And it's a real reinterpretation of the phrase, "You take my breath away," because it's a song about a woman being murdered and drowned by her partner, who literally takes her breath away. But it is a glorious, glorious song. And it is dark, of course. My blood becomes a cloud, my dreams made of water, I cannot breathe. And the final line is sung with such tenderness and delicacy, but the final line is, "I glow with the greatness of my hate for you," and it's just such an incongruous combination. It's absolutely wonderful. It's a hard line, beautifully wretched. And it's the kind of song that you would expect to find on something like Nick Cave's Murder Ballads or something like that. It's a great song about something very dark. And it's unsurprising then that Nick Cave wrote it, or co-wrote the song, because The Punishing Kiss, the album The Punishing Kiss, is all music that's been covered or has been written for Ute Lemper, especially for this record. So Nick Cave co-wrote it with an Austrian composer called Bruno Piska. So there were other tracks on the album. It's a really good album. There were tracks on there that she sings that are written by Scott Walker, Elvis Costello, Tom Waits, Philip Glass, and it's lovely. But this song for me is the standout best one because her voice is so beautiful. There's such aching sorrow in every word. At times it's just a whisper and then it soars with a pleading, despairing sense of loss. All of the time enveloped in these sumptuous strings as she meets her final end under the water. So it's a great song. Ute Lemper, she's a German songstress. She was awarded an Olivier for Best Actress in a Musical in 1998. She's a lot of acting. She's loads and loads of acting. She's also an accomplished painter. And some might remember that she took on some of the singing roles at the Berlin Wall in 1990 for Roger Waters' big performance of The Wall. She sang some bits and pieces in that. But she's very much a jazz artist. Her background is in Bertolt Brecht and Marlene Dietrich, Edith Piaf, Jacques Brel. I've got some of her other work, and some of it is very much around that kind of early 20th century German cabaret style. To be honest, it's not all to my taste, but I do think she's a very talented woman. It's a great album. It's a great song.
Awesome. I hadn't heard. I don't know. The name rung a bell, and not because of Oompa Loompas either. but it did ring a bell. But I don't. I'll be very surprised if I've ever heard anything by her.
Yeah, she's in a parallel dimension to the stuff we would ordinarily listen to, and not really touching, but it was very good.
Fair enough. Okay, coolio. Well, we're whacking through now, aren't we? At a rate of knots. Okay, so my number 2 is a song called Mercury by a band called Low Gold. And I had a bit of a dilemma today. I had 4 songs, and the 5th I picked, and I thought I'll have a listen to it, and it's just been taken off Spotify as protest.
As a protest? So, whose protest?
Yes.
Oh, they've taken it off.
They're protesting against Spotify.
Okay.
So then I picked another one, and then I changed my mind. And then I this happened to pop up somewhere, and it's just one of those. It's a really, really great song, Mercury by Low Gold. Low Gold were an English kind of indie rock band, and they formed in '97. This comes from an album that was actually released in 2001. And around that time, I went with Karen to Cambridge Junction to see Grandaddy play, and Low Gold were the support band.
Oh, right.
And they came on, and they were really, really good. Really noisy. One of those bands, kind of mid-paced songs, and really well-written songs, and just totally over the top guitars, lots of feedback, and as was kind of popular back in those days, and I thought, oh, that's brilliant, bought the album, which I think was called just Backward of Square, and it's great tunes, great songs, and it was like, oh man, they're going to be really big. They've got everything, the records sound quite noisy, but slow, with great songs. Live, they're quite the proposition. Lots of really crunchy guitars. They can properly, get the volume up and get your head bobbing and everything. And they just died a death.
Okay.
It just never happened for them, and I remember thinking, it's such a shame. They were such a good band, and it just got me thinking about all the bands that we've probably both seen over the years, and have thought, oh, they're so good, and it just never happened for them. It just never happened, and and it's kind of baffling. I mean, nowadays you can probably understand it because there is so much fucking music about. It must be really hard to get your foot in the door and get.
Hugely. It's very much always been a right place, right time. In every town, in every street, in every town, there are great musicians. Many of them better than most of the stuff you hear in the mainstream. It's just about
totally.
I think last time round I'd referred again to the stat that 100,000 new pieces of music.
Yes, but you did.
This week I read that there are now 50,000 a day AI songs on top of the 100,000.
Yeah.
So a third of all of the tracks being uploaded now are AI, which is deeply disturbing.
Yeah, well, there's been a big news story this week about BBC picked an AI song, which I think is fucking disgraceful,
terrible,
really. I mean, because the thing with AI is, I've made an AI song, because I've got no discernible music talent whatsoever.
No discernible talent, was
writing. Well, absolutely, yeah, definitely not a podcast anyway. But I can write a poem. I can write a little ditty or something. And I've been, but there's no way I would try and actually release it. It's just for fun.
What do you do then? Do you just
So I wrote a really, really. I can't even tell you what I wrote, but it was about a well-known right-wing politician, and it was pretty horrible, and it was very, very rude, and I just put it to basically, I logged on to the site, I started an account, I put my lyrics in, I put make a song in the style of British oi punk band, and it generated a song, and it was great. Lily was buying stuff on Amazon with my debit card, so I wrote a little poem and set it to a reggae beat and sent it to her that just said, Lily, times up, please stop using my debit card, which was really funny.
It's that easy though.
It's jeez. Totally. I knocked that up in about 5 minutes.
Was that a rhyming couplet with barrage? Was something about a barrage or something?
No, it was more like it rhymed with Bobbinson.
Oh, okay.
So it was particularly rude, and it made my friend Gary laugh a lot. It really did. It was tremendously vile.
Okay, well, it's sad. It's sad. I think it got in the news as well, because something like the top selling records on Spotify, I think the top 5 were AI or something, and
well, they generate their own, don't they, to fill in playlists or something.
I don't know.
It's really hard to spot. It is really annoying, and it's quite scary, because for our generation, all AI means is that we're going to be involved in a nuclear war very soon, and robots are going to come back from the future and fuck us up big time. We all know. Our generation know that it's all going to end badly in tears. Yeah. So how these twats don't get it, I don't know.
Okay.
But anyway, but I digress. Back to Low Gold. Yeah, they had the record deal. They had everything, and it just didn't happen. And it was such a great single. There were some really, really good tracks on there. And then there are other bands. Well, we're not going to mention names because I don't think it's fair. But there are other bands who I fucking loathe, who I just think, what? How the fuck did you get to number one? Get to where you are? Because you're atrocious.
Yeah.
That everything that you hate about, they may as well be AI. Some of them.
Anodyne.
Because it's just soulless bullshit, isn't it? It's like rhyming, cat with Matt and that kind of thing.
Yeah, talking about bands you see or encounter who should make it and don't. I went to a gig, I think it was in Cambridge, and it may have been Sex Gang Children or Southern Death Cult, I think, and a support band called Paralysis, and they were really, really good. Wanted to get something by them afterwards, and saw an advert for a cassette in Melody Maker or Sounds at the time by Paralysis. And me and a mate, we both wrote off to them and said, you were great in Cambridge the other night, love to get your cassette. And we both got letters back saying, I don't know who you think we are, but we haven't played Cambridge before. And sure enough, it was a different band. Never did hear of the good Paralysis again.
But there's so many bands like that, aren't there? You go to a gig, you see a band, you think they're really good, and never happens.
Yeah.
I love a charity shop, and I often pick up there'll be a self-released CD, and you think, who the bloody hell are they? Whatever happened to them? Even records. People the self-released records were a thing in the 70s, weren't they? I've picked up a couple of school choirs singing musicals. Some sort of school choir doing Joseph and his Technicolor Dreamcoat.
Okay.
And bought that just because I just thought, well, why not? I'll give it a listen.
If it's 50p in a charity box or something, what have you got to lose?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, that was my number 2.
Okay.
That was
Low Gold.
Mercury by Low Gold.
Okay.
Yes.
My number 3 then, leaping ahead. You will have heard of these, I'm sure. Fuck Buttons. No?
Yes.
You've looked a bit
I've heard of Fuck Buttons.
Fuck Buttons is a great band, electro band, quite noisy. And the track that I've picked for this purpose is from their second album, Tarot Sport, from 2009. The track's called Olympians. And it's an absolutely storming track, Fuck Buttons is UK duo, Andrew Hung and Benjamin John Power. They got together in 2004. The first album...
Oh, that's right. Benjamin John Power is...
Blank Mass.
Yes, Blank Mass, that's right. Yes, I've got a couple of his... Yeah, I got a couple of their records, his records.
I don't know if you were aware, though, that the first of Fuck Buttons' albums, Street Horsing, was produced by John Cummings of Mogwai.
No, I didn't know
And
that.
it was mastered by Bob Weston of Shellac. So some big names involved in that. And I think both John and Bob were involved in some of the other stuff they did. But they make brilliant electronic music, part dance, part noise, part pop. It's an amalgam of all of those. So this song, Olympians, as I say, from their 2002 album Tarot Sport, which is a really, really good album. It just begins with a shimmering noise. And to be honest, I could just listen to that for hours. As you sometimes get just the noise and you think that just sounds fantastic. But after a minute or two, this rhythm slowly comes out of that noise and starts to grind along like a machine. It's an electronic rhythm. It just drives on through. And the noise of the shimmering gradually fades away and you get these modulated sounds come along, and then a bass element comes in just good enough to listen to that, the machinery of this rhythm and the bass. You just keep thinking, just keep going. Don't stop. Exactly the way I felt when I first heard Love is a Dog from Hell from Godflesh. And that opening couple of minutes, I just think, just don't stop. This is fucking brilliant. Yeah. And they do stop, and it turns into a great track anyway. But, you get that moment, that combination of sounds, that song structure, you just think, this is brilliant. But this happens, and then the whole thing changes again. There's a whack of high frequency synth chords bursting, and it's just like, wow, it's just a fantastic chord progression, great sound. You can close your eyes and you can be flying over the Arctic or it's just totally joyous. And then that stops, and there's just this beautiful simple riff going in that same drum pattern that it's just so good. Then sheets of noise come in and they just slam in for the final third of the track, and it's euphoric. It feels like it's getting faster and faster, but it's not. It's just the way it's lifting you and lifting you and lifting you. You will not get a better 11 minutes rocking yourself to fantastic imaginary places. So it's a great track. After breaking up,
really, I hadn't. That was what you thought.
Very enthusiastic. Because I thought when
you played it all so low key.
well, when I was thinking about God, what track shall I put on this list? I thought, oh no, Fuck Buttons Olympians, that's a good one. And I hadn't listened to it for a long time. And I put it on. I just played it 2 or 3 times over, thinking, fuck, this is good. This is so good. But as you say, they broke up in 2015. Power became Blank Mass, who are a bit noisier, but still very, very good. And still, you can see the very close connection with Fuck Buttons. They're very similar in many respects. The other curious thing is that Fuck Buttons had a significant presence in the opening ceremony of the London Olympics in 2012. Not that I watched any of it, but the track Olympians, or part of it, was played, as was Surf Solar, which is also a great track from Tarot Sport, as was Sundowner by Blank Mass. So Power and his incarnation of Fuck Buttons and then Blank Mass had 3 musical sections in the London Olympics, which is really weird. Yeah. I think the only thing they didn't do was fly the helicopter with Bond and Lizzie in it, But I didn't watch any of the London Olympics opening ceremony.
Oh, I watched it. It was I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was quite well done. I thought it celebrated all the things that we like about Britain rather than what twats like.
I saw bits of it and it didn't seem to compare with China.
I should stop there already. I don't want to. I think at some point we should probably have our top 5 bands with swear words in the title, because we could go and look back and look at the cunts. Actually, I'm not sure whether we should we say that word. I know a lot of people get more offended by that than us. should we have bleeped out that, or I don't know? Because if it's a better band,
yeah, I'm inclined not to edit it out.
No, same here.
I think there's a problem.
So anyway, so apologies everyone because we said that word and we've said it twice now inadvertently. So if you are offended by it, we don't really care.
That's the problem, isn't it? When you get more listeners who you don't know, you start imposing different kind of thresholds. I don't think we should do that. We are just what we are. People can leave if they want to.
Yeah. So that's the easy listening special. But yeah, bands as well. There must be loads. There's
Fucked Up.
Are there?
Fucked Up. Yes. Terribly good band. Terribly good band.
Yeah, very good band. Yeah, don't do any more because we might. If we do a list, we don't want to give it away. I can think of a couple.
They're all coming through now. Okay, yeah.
Do you remember the Snivelling Shits?
Of course. Yes, yeah.
Old punk bands.
Yeah. Hell Bastard.
They were pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a few. Yeah. Okay. we're drifting off again, aren't we?
Oh my God! Here we go.
There must be bands called
We're going all over
the
the place. It must be. Yeah. Because Blink 182 is about swearing, isn't it? Because isn't that something like Blink 182, 182? Isn't there a film where they say "fuck" 182 times or something?
Yeah, I think so. My son would know because he was a big fan of those, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So your number 3 then?
My number 3 is The World's Biggest Paving Slab by English Teacher. I'm not. What's so funny?
That's a fantastic title.
Have you heard of English Teacher?
I've heard of English Teacher. I didn't realise they had such a wit about them, to be honest.
Fabulous band. Yeah. Fabulous band. I really, really like English Teacher. Active since 2020 from Leeds. And the absolutely remarkable Lily Fontaine is the lead singer. And boy, she can sing. She's got a cracking voice on her. And I bought the LP when it came out. I'd heard, I think I may well have heard this single, World's Biggest Paving Slab, and it's just their songs are so well constructed. Because they all leave space for a great big soaring,
not like a sawmill
vocal. No, this is soaring. Like I'm doing hand movements. You can't see them, obviously.
I can see listeners. Them. I can see
but
them.
You can see them. Yeah. They kind of leave. They leave like there's so much space for everything to go on in their songs. There's another one called "You Blister My Paint," which is
like their
just
titles.
Fabulous as well. Yeah, they're a great band. Great band. I saw them last year at Coco in London. Yeah, a lovely venue.
Yeah, it is.
And I was determined to see them because I love the album so much. I wasn't disappointed. Her voice is just marvelous. Absolutely marvelous.
I have heard of them, but give me apart from her soaring voice and the space, what kind of music are we talking about?
It's indie. It's basically indie post punk. Lots of I don't know how to. They're very much. They're quite unique, really. There's no real. They're really hard to categorise because they're all over the fucking place. I just said didn't I? But anyway, they are very hard to categorise. There's so much going on, and yet at the same time, like I say, there's so much space for her voice to just go off at any given time.
Does she have a voice that is kind of similar to anyone else?
She's a lot. So a lot of it is kind of she'll be kind of semi-talking in a Yorkshire accent.
Oh, okay.
And then there'll be a chorus, and it will just go. I'd love to be able to sing it for you, but obviously I can't.
We're thankful.
He's a real kind of a kind of a breathtaking type of. It's like whoa. I am the world's biggest peering slab, and then all of a sudden it's woof and it's gone.
So what is
and it's
that about?
Absolutely glorious.
So she's saying she is the world's biggest paving slab.
No, she's telling the story from the perspective of the world's biggest paving slab.
That must be a reference to something, a big car park or something.
No, just a big paving slab. I think it's all very obscure. It's all very obtuse. It's very, I think you've got to you really need to listen to them. I think you'd really like them.
I would definitely have to listen to them.
There's strings in there. They had I think there was a cello player sitting at the back, and who also doubled on keyboards. There's keyboards. The drummer goes off and plays the keyboards. There's kind of lots of guitar noise in there. Even the quietest parts of "You Blister My Paint." Her voice is soaring off, and in the background there's all this scratchy guitar noise and feedback going on.
It sounds a little bit more out there than I'd expected. I had an impression of English teacher being a bit kind of indie type thing, which in itself doesn't really float my boat. But you make it sound a good deal more interesting than perhaps I'd believed it to be.
Yeah, I think there's definitely if you were going to, you'd class them probably as an indie band, but they're a very interesting indie band, and there's lots of other influences going on in there, and a love of noise and a love of what the different instruments can do. They don't seem to be constrained by your normal guitar, drums, bass kind of setup. They're happy to, like I say, to treat like almost a powerful ballad like "You Blister My Paint," and yet, like I say, in the background there's all this kind of noise going on.
So "You Blister My Paint" is a compliment.
"You Blister My Paint" is another banger. It was a toss up between that and this song. I went for the world's biggest paving slab because it's funny, and that's the other thing. They're really funny.
Yeah.
The lyrics are just a bit surreal. "You Blister My Paint" I think is one of the great compliments I've ever heard. She's saying, you do
hot.
it for me. Yeah, "You blister my paint," and I thought, what a fantastic compliment to pay somebody. You're so awesome. "You blister my paint."
We'll have to have a best 5 song titles at some point, because it makes you start thinking of some of the great titles, because both of those are good titles. Hey ho, go on the list.
Yeah. But they're a really good band. I think you'd quite enjoy them. There's a bit in there for everybody, and I'm really happy that they've become so popular. Because I think they deserve the success they're getting just for being a bit different. Just for trying something a bit different, and not being your kind of run of the mill, indie band.
Well, you running the sawmill.
Run the sawmill. Yeah, and they won. Did they win the Mercury Prize last year? I think they won the Mercury Music Prize, which is largely bollocks. I think all these prizes are just, but when you get the list, you pick the band you want to win. It's like, the year before I think it was Fontaines. Oh, we want Fontaines to win. No, it's the fucking jazz act again. But this time it was like the winners are English teachers. Like, well, fuck me, I didn't see that coming. And I think it was really good to see them, because they pretty much come from nowhere.
They come from Leeds, didn't they?
Was exactly.
I set you up for that one.
Sorry, Leeds. I could never resist a joke at anyone's expense. Even Bobby Tomlinson.
Bobbinson, yes.
Robbie Tomlinson. So that was number 3.
Okay, well that's definitely
the world's biggest paving
definitely
slab.
one I need to have a listen to, because it sounds like quite something that I hadn't believed it would be. Okay, cool.
Yes, super.
My number 4, somewhat different from that, is a track called "Bones in the Sand" by Angel. And it's from a 2008 album Kalmukia. And it's a long form piece of work. It was recorded.
I wouldn't expect anything less. We've already had 2 fucking lyric songs from you tonight. You know,
I do like long songs. I like long
This
books.
is the world's longest playlist. All thanks to Jake.
It's only 30. It's just over 13 minutes. This song, so it's not massive like those ambient ones. The
podcast is 90 minutes. The playlist is 2.5 weeks.
But this is a great piece of music. So Angel Ilpo Väisänen, who was in Pansonic, strangely enough, because I mentioned them earlier, and Dirk Dresselhaus, who's in Schneider TM and latterly in Faust. And together they create these long-form pieces of music that are experimental, drone, noise, not very cluttered with stuff. They're quite expansive. And this one, they went out to the Russian steppes to a place called Kalmykia, and they recorded it with... in a way, with an arrangement of equipment that one of them had a dream about, and they created this thing. I'm not sure if they recorded it in a cave or some derelict building, but the place that they recorded it in, the locals don't go there, allegedly, and they call it the place of blissful death, which is quite nice in itself. And it sounds like music from deep within the earth. Low tones roll slowly through the darkness, strings slide across the chasm, little electronic touches here and there, and there's this fabulously, hugely reverberated desert guitar that occasionally twangs and strums. It's like calling the ghosts from the Wild West. It's
sounds like a proper toe tapper.
It's not a toe tapper. It's music of abject desolation. You can sense tumbleweed, Russian thistles, tumbling across vast desert plains.
I associate music of absolute desolation with fucking Jive Bunny. So I know very much it's going to be in the mood, isn't
Angel Jive Bunny. You're not going to get that. No. But it's music. It's kind of like the American Dust Bowl. These films, you see the American Dust Bowl, boarded up shacks clattering in the wind, tumbleweeds. It's music like that from a land ravaged. And it's fantastic. They found some fish there, apparently, where they were recording in the Caspian Sea, because it was on the shores of the Caspian Sea. And because there'd been so much pollution poured into the sea, they got this kind of fish that you don't find anywhere else, and the locals call them tank parasites, which again is a great term. So on this track, as I say, from the album Kalmykia, they're joined by Hilda Guðnadóttir, who is a fabulous Icelandic cellist.
Yep. Yes, she did the soundtrack for
Chernobyl.
Yeah,
Chernobyl, whatever. Yeah, she did that, and she's
Chernobyl.
Many other good records.
I always call it Chernobyl because it harks back to that joke when we were kids, doesn't it? You know, why should you never wear Russian underpants? Because Chernobyl fallout.
I hadn't heard that. I hadn't heard that joke, but thank you for that topical humour from Dave. Dear. Right on. You won't be able to have I got news for you or something. Right on the pulse. So yes, it has she upon it, and the record design, because he's credited as record design, I'm not quite sure what that means, is Stephen O'Malley, who of course is Sun Zero. So both of those have worked with them before. They've changed their name.
Let's just clear this up. Yeah. Sun Zero, Sun O.
Yeah, what did I say?
You said Sun Zero.
Did I? No.
We've also referred to him as Sun before.
Yeah.
And we've also referred to them as Sun O. Which is the... See, I always thought Sun O, because it says Sun and there's a big O.
But if you look...
But then Sun make the amps that they're named after. Yes. And Sun Zero is something you just fucking made up just to fuck with me.
If you look at the fonts, there's a difference between an O and a 0, and it looks very much like a 0 to me. When they first came out with, I think, what was their first album, Black One or something, and we used to call them Sun Zero bracket bracket bracket. Oh dear. Anyway, so
because they sometimes have brackets either side, don't they?
Do they?
So then it would be Sun bracket 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 O bracket bracket bracket.
I don't know if you've noticed, but there's a particular model of Mini car, and the brake lights, it's the round circle, and it has 3 kind of open closed parentheses around it in lighted up, and it looks like 0 bracket bracket bracket. And every time I see,
is that why you've got loads of metal fans driving around in minis?
That's it. Yes,
days.
Jet black minis. Yes, so I mean that gives you a flavour of the kind of music this is, with Hilda Guðnadóttir and Stephen O'Malley involved, Pansonic, Faust. It's an amalgam of those kind of ideology, those kind of musicalities. So it is really great. They've changed their name now. They're now called D Angel, as in DIE, as in the German, the angel, D Angel. I'm not sure why, but they've continued to be extraordinarily prolific. Loads of albums, and they're all of a similar ilk. These very long form experimental pieces, which are semi-electronic, semi-guitar, semi-field sounds. They're all very immersive, like much of long form field / ambient is. You put it on, you turn the lights off, and you transport away wherever you're going. So I think they're a very good band. I think the album Kalmukia is a very good album, but the track Bones in the Sand has for many years been up there, because this was 2008 the album came out. I don't really know where I first came across them. It's not the kind of thing Peely would have played. It must have been a review in one of the fanzines, industrial fanzines or something back then. But that track...
Wait, what year is this from?
It's 2000. It's 2008. So it could have been...
The Wire?
Well, it might have been The Wire. Yeah, it might have been The Wire. Yeah. I can't remember. But I'll put the track, obviously, on the playlist, and if people want to skip through it, they can. I recommend you don't. Give it the first 10 minutes at least. Oh, great. Good stuff.
Yes, fucking hell. Right, wonderful. Okay, so that was your number 3, wasn't
that was my number 4.
Number 4. Okay. Oh, that's right, you went first, didn't you?
One, yeah.
Okay, my number 4 is by The Replacements.
You wanted to mention them.
Can't hardly wait. Yes. I just wanted to. The Replacements are one of those bands where. So for anyone who doesn't know, and I realised I just stopped mid sentence and started off again. That was on purpose. That wasn't because of any issues. That was me stopping and realised I should start again. So the Replacements formed in Minneapolis, Minnesota in the very early 80s, late 70s, early 80s, and kind of started influenced by hardcore. Were contemporaries of Huskadoo. I got told off for saying Huskadoo rather than Huskadoo. So Huskadoo, and and then kind of became more of a rock band. Went from the punkishness to rock. And I think, as I mentioned when I was talking about REM last week, we'll always mention in the same breath of bands of that ilk at that time. You had kind of Huskadoo, The Replacements, and REM. I listened to The Replacements and I never quite got it. I couldn't ever put my finger on what it was about The Replacements that I just didn't get on with. I don't know whether because at the time I was comparing them to Huskadoo and REM, who, as I say, I absolutely adored both of those bands. And I don't know whether it was because I was comparing them to them and they were always coming third. I didn't quite I think I was probably coming at it from the wrong angle and expecting more punk when it wasn't. Yeah, and I spent years. I really put a lot of effort into trying to like the Replacements. Just couldn't do it. Just couldn't get it.
Why did you feel it was necessary that you liked them? If your ears are telling you, I really don't like this.
Because lots of people who I really like, whose opinions I really respected, liked them a lot. You know, I had a similar problem a couple of years ago with a band called Lankum from Dublin, and people were insisting to me this is one of the greatest. It's such a brilliant album, such a brilliant. I couldn't get it. I couldn't get it. And finally, you know, it's another long convoluted story I won't go into, but finally just approached it from a slightly different angle and went, you know, and the whole Replacements thing is very similar. And so I first heard them in probably 82, 83, tried it, didn't like it, tried it again, didn't like it. And this carried on for decades. I was always aware of how influential they were.
Right.
And I just challenged myself. I just couldn't understand why I didn't get it. I had like a little CD box of all their LPs, and I'd play it now and again, and it's all right. And then last year or the year before, they released a remastered version of an album they did called Tim. And Tim, Tim, right. Tim. I've no idea why it's called Tim. I probably should know, but I don't. And I thought I'll give it one last go. And I listened to the remastered version of Tim, and I went,
click.
Fuck me, this is brilliant, and it just clicked. And I don't know why. I don't know whether it's because I'm just older now. I've heard so much other music, and I can appreciate it more. I can appreciate what they were doing, and it just clicked. And that album, Tim, is one of my favourite albums of all time now. I absolutely love it. I play the tits off it.
Did that open the door retrospectively to their catalogue to you?
Yes. Oh, so can't hardly wait. What? Oh, sorry, that was me putting it over the. So that was me checking my notes. So Can't Hardly Wait came from Pleased to Meet Me, which was the album after Tim. And Can't Hardly Wait apparently was one of those tracks where they made so many efforts to try and get it down, and then finally, like as we meet, it clicked and they got it. And it's a fabulous song. It's a proper, you know, rock song in the tradition of all the other Replacement songs with added horns. I think that was the thing. I think in the end they went, horns. It needs fucking horns. Bung some horns in, made it classic. And it's such a brilliant song. And as I say, I could have picked any song off of Tim. I didn't want to be too obvious. There are some bangers on it, and as I say, retrospectively, going back through their catalogue, I mean, there's still a couple of songs, a couple of albums I'm not overly, enthused about. But Pleased to Meet Me and Let It Be, I think, and Tim. Tim especially, I absolutely adore it now. Absolutely adore it. I just think it's one of the greatest LPs ever made.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was just, I kind of struggle to think of any other band where it's taken me that long to get into. I think probably, you know, I kind of finally I got to 50 and finally understood jazz.
Okay.
You know, and went, yeah, I get that. I don't know whether that's a byproduct of reaching 50 or what. I don't know whether it's just in the genes. You hit 50, jazz makes sense.
I like jazz. I like some jazz. Not all of it.
It's like when you hit 50 and you get that whole new vocabulary, which is pretty much when you stand up and you start going, when you stand up and you get this whole new litany of different noises you have to make when you do certain things. I'm just going to reach for my big, you know. but so whether an appreciation of the replacements is something that comes with age, but I'm really glad that I persevered.
Yeah, yes, it's hard to imagine you spending decades wrestling with the replacements and insisting that you are gonna like them. Other people like them, so you must like them.
I kind of but it is. I mean, if it was just people, you know, who I didn't really give much of a shit about, you know, but a couple of people whose opinions I really respect, you know, just always said replacements are, you know, and I was like, I'm missing something. I can't quite put my finger on it. And even now, I still can't quite put my finger on what it was I was missing. It just all of a sudden made sense. Whether it was just hearing that kind of extra, I mean, because the remix, the remastering made a hell of a difference to the actual sound of and brought out lots of stuff that you can't you I mean, you got you have the option to listen to both mixes. And one is so much clearer and fresher than the new one than the old one, and whether that made a difference and just kind of clicked on everything else. And once I understood Tim, I could then go back and to the other ones. Pleased to Meet Me has a brand new remaster as well, and sounds lovely and fresh and just
every time you mention it, I keep thinking of Tim Cox. I think I can listen to it without thinking.
I know.
He would be delighted.
It's just the weirdest. Yeah, it's just a weird title for a name. For an album. I'm sure there's a. I'm sure it's a weird name as well.
There's a weird person.
Tim. But yeah. So that's my that's my number 4. Can't Hardly Wait by the Replacements, and that is my replacement story.
There you go. You're wrestling with the replacements. I've got a Tim story because Tim Cox, you know, who we both know, his head used to be a unit of measure for us for a long while. So whenever we needed to explain or describe the size of something, it would be, how many Tim's heads is that? So you say, how long is that couch? That's about 6 Tim's heads. Because it was a great pastime for a while.
Has he got a weirdly large or small head?
Not especially. I genuinely can't remember how that started, but it was one of those things that stuck for a good long while.
I would imagine drugs were involved.
More than likely. Little rascals, rapscallions that we were. Okay, cool. That's I'm not very familiar with the replacements at all. I know of them like I know of English Teacher, but I couldn't say I've heard anything much by them, if anything.
Yeah, worth a listen. Tim, I would, if you're going to start anywhere, start with that. It's, and just bear in mind that it is a good, for want of a better expression, a good old rock and roll record.
Rock and roll, eh? Okay.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's actually made me more or less interested.
not as in Elvis, but that whole kind of rambunctiousness, there was a lot of drinking in the band, which obviously we can relate to that. And they were another one of those bands that always managed to sabotage themselves. I think they had various auditions and played Saturday Night Live and got absolutely shit-faced beforehand and decided to switch clothes in between takes and just got this reputation for being unreliable. Difficult. That kind of really affected where they were. They never got to be that great big. They probably could have been, REM size, I would imagine. They had that songwriting, that songwriting chutzpah. There was something about them, definitely, but they were so self-destructive that it never really
came together.
It never really.
Yeah, there could have been REM size, which would probably be about 24 Tim's heads, I would think, or something like that in total. But
probably more. Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, and which I think is like something like 58 Andrew Tate heads, isn't it? Because. He got a little tiny head.
Okay, before you upset any more people, as you let's move on.
It's weird because the trouble is I was reading the newspaper online before we started, and I've got all these things going in my head. But Andrew Tate had just come out and say, I don't want to. I'm rich and famous. I don't want any women because they're all scum or something like that. And it's like,
he's a class act.
Yeah, he is a class act. Yeah. Yes, he is a class act. I don't want any women. I just want a good pegging, probably. I would imagine. So, and then there was a picture of that little tiny head, and I thought, little tiny head.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
let's move on.
Your editing's going to be cut out for this.
So my number 5 is a track called "In the River" by a duo, in fact, called A Hawk and a Hacksaw.
Oh, I've
you heard of them?
I think I had a CD years ago. Hawk and Hacksaw. What label are they on?
Well, you always ask me the label. I don't know what label they're on.
Yeah, sorry, force of habit.
I can't even guess what label they're on. But anyway, Hawk and a Hacksaw is a duo, and In the River is my favourite track. I've got a few of their albums. This is my favourite track of theirs. From a 2006 album, The Way the Wind Blows, which in itself is an exceptionally good album. The band are an American folk duo from Albuquerque, accordionist Jeremy Barnes and violinist Heather Trost. And the music, rather than being Americana, is all very much based around Eastern European folk music, particularly Romania, because Barnes he's from Chicago, I think. He spent a lot of time in Ukraine and got very heavily influenced by the music that was going on in that area.
Isn't it the law that if you say Albuquerque, you have to say Albuquerque or something like that?
I just broke the law.
I remember that from somewhere. That's isn't that where Bugs Bunny always used to say, I should have turned left at Albuquerque? Is that right? Am I remembering that right?
Maybe, I don't know.
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, your trivia is second to none.
I'll put that one out to Brooklyn Pete and DJ Substance, because they is Americans, so they'll know. So yeah, guys, am I right in he should have turned left at Albuquerque? Or... Anyway, go on.
Anyway, yes,
I do love butting in when you're talking.
It's fine. I'll edit it all out. I'll just erase you from the record.
Yeah.
So Hawk and Hacksaw.
So just be hello, welcome to Music Is None of Our Business with me, Jake, and no one else.
Yeah, I'll re-record your bits myself.
Yeah. You give me a funny voice like, hello, my name's Dave.
The temptation is sometimes overwhelming just to put funny effects on your voice and all kinds. I could do so much, but it wouldn't be fair. Maybe you could be all sweet. Yeah, maybe a Christmas present will be a completely processed version of a podcast. So a Hawk and Hacksaw, then there you go.
We're doing AI. We're doing AI.
I'm not having anything to do with bloody AI. I don't want it. I don't want it near me.
It will just be make me erudite, make Dave sound like a twat, and it will come back saying, "But that's what it's already
like." Anyway, so yes, so Eastern European music, and it has definitely Eastern European feel. It has this kind of lurching swayingness about it, like a lot of Turkish and Romanian music does, and that's in part because they have adopted what's called the Aksak meter of Balkan and Turkish music, and that's in part where the name comes from. Hawk and Hacksaw was a quote. It's a modified quote from Shakespeare, but referring to Cervantes' Don Quixote. I won't go into it. It's far too boring. But the song...
Just put an AI bit on the end. Yeah,
put an AI bit on the end. So it sways and rolls, and it's kind of...
ChatGPT, please explain where Hawk and Hacksaw comes from. Yes, Jake, I will start the nuclear countdown in 5, 4,
I didn't say that. Yeah. You don't know what you're going to get.
Would you like to play a game?
I don't know if I told you about the American Air Force colonel that was on the radio a couple of years ago, and they were talking about testing their AI-driven drones, and he said, it was a simulation, we sent this AI-driven drone out and said, go and kill the enemy, and it went out and killed the enemy, and it killed a whole load of other people. So we got it back. We said, no. Just do as we tell you. Just kill the enemy. And it went out and it killed the enemy. Then it came back and it shot the communication towers down. That killed the colonel in his head, as if to say, fuck you. But anyway. Fortunately, it was a simulation. So this song It has a really bawdy kind of feel. It's definitely that Eastern European sense, that lurching, the Aksak meter and so on, but it sounds like they're all pissed out their heads anyway. I suppose, having thought about it, it might be what you might expect of a Romanian version of the Pogues, perhaps. Not quite as punk.
Yeah,
it's not got that punkiness, but that kind of, we're really great musicians, technically skilled, but we're fucking pissed, or we sound like we're pissed, lurching around, and there's big chanty kind of choruses, so it's good. And they recorded it in the Romanian village of Zece Praina, and they used local musicians from Romania, brass outfit called Fanfare Cochalia, which makes it just, it's great. It's a great album. It's a great track. I went to see them live in this tiny little club years and years ago. I can't remember where it was. And I'm not sure whether they just improvised the whole thing or whether they just chose a load of songs I'd never heard before. But it was very, very very, very jarring that there was not a single piece of music in the whole set that I recognised, and I thought I had quite a few of their records. I'm sure they were making it all up, but it did fit that little club. There were about 12 people in there, and it's difficult to know what to do, really. It's not really dancey music, and you can't sing along to it because you don't know the words. And anyway, it was an interesting gig, but great band, great records. That one's a particular favourite of mine. And again, like him, they seem to have just fizzled out. Sometime in 2018, 2018 was their last record. They're still touring, but they seem to have just stopped making records. It's 7 years since they made a record, as far as I can tell. But they are still touring, predominantly in the United States. But there you go.
Yes, yeah. I can't remember. I think the record, I was going to say it had a green cover, but that's probably not any help at all, is it? Yeah, no. Yeah, I definitely remember listening to it. That was probably early 2000s. But I couldn't even tell you where I
don't want you to. I don't want you to tell me. I just don't care.
Okay. I'll just keep it a secret. It'll just be a lifelong secret. And if I do remember, I'm going to go, oh, I remembered where I heard Hawk and Hacksaw. And you go, where? And I'll go, not fucking telling you, twat.
I would
because
say,
you're being a dickhead.
I would say I already asked AI and it's told me where you heard it.
I heard it on the brink of a nuclear war.
What nuclear war?
5,
this one.
4. No, stop.
Oh dear.
See, it was a lot easier when you could stop nuclear war just by playing noughts and crosses, wasn't it? You know, and now you've oh, goodness knows how you do it now. You'd have to AI, I suppose.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable how quickly it would all happen. There's a lot that's been written about, you know. I think I read a book called Nuclear War quite recently, and it's written on the basis of the information that was provided by top people in the military, in nuclear warfare and communications and so on. And the whole book takes you in real time, as it were, through what would happen if an unidentified missile was launched from somewhere in the Pacific. And in 28 minutes from that launch, everybody would have nuclear weapons in the air going somewhere. Yeah. So fucking hell,
it's insane, isn't it? Yeah. Always used to make me laugh when you'd read these articles about germ warfare, and they go, oh yeah, we're developing this germ warfare, these germs, and if they ever got loose, the whole planet would die. And you're like, well, why the fucking hell are you making them then? Are you stupid? You know, it's like,
it is odd.
You're just asking for
we're
it,
a strange species. We're a strange species. Yeah, I think the one thing that people in the military and that so on fear is that somebody comes up and makes a cobalt bomb, because a cobalt bomb apparently, in theory, that would start a chain reaction that destroys every last atom, and you couldn't stop then the chain reaction of the disintegration of every atom or something. But it's doable.
Yeah. Do you know what would survive that? My fucking mother, my mum.
I'm not sure that's a very nice thing to say, is it? I
just always look at my mum and I think if anyone's going to survive a nuclear war, it'd be my mum. She's like 88 and just, you know, riddled with chest infections once a week, and still and just goes, oh yeah, I'm all right.
Doing good.
And I always think, after nuclear war, there'll be cockroaches, rats, my mum.
That did me good. That radiation. Yeah. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, that's got rid of that cough. She'll be roaming the wasteland in a V8 Mustang or something.
Making health DVDs about how you should absorb as much radiation as possible. Because look, I'm a living testament.
Oh dear. Yeah. I do love my mum. Not that she knows how to work bloody computers or anything. I'll do this, David.
Oh, okay. You're wrapping things up today with your number 5 then.
So, my number 5 now then, my final pick. And this is kind of a newly sentimental one for me because it's a song by Beck.
Oh, right.
And it's called Ramona.
Okay.
And we Beck, I think everyone knows who Beck is, don't they? Beck Hansen. He did Loser and blah 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 blah. So Ramona is a song from the soundtrack of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and is named after Scott Pilgrim's love of his life, Ramona Flowers, who he has to fight her 7 ex-boyfriends for her hand. In marriage or whatever, for her hand, for her troth or something, whatever you call it, I don't know. And this is, and I love that film. I think it's a great film. Scott Pilgrim. Have you ever seen it?
No.
Scott Pilgrim. It's great fun.
Okay.
Great fun. Edgar Wright directed it, who did Shaun of the Dead and Hot Fuzz and various other films.
Don't like any of those.
Fuck off. You don't like Shaun the Dead?
No. Sometimes British comedy films... It's weird you say that because I just went back in the house when we had the break, and Rachel, for some reason, is watching Carry On Henry. But, you know, for some reason, British comedy films, certainly latterly, just I don't get them. I don't think they're funny.
I don't think you could. How the heck can you describe Shaun the Dead even in the same breath as Carry On?
No, I don't mean to say there's a comparison, but Hot Fuzz. I don't like Hot Fuzz. I don't think it's funny.
Really?
I don't think it's funny at all.
Oh my God! You're just a humorless twat. I've never met anyone who didn't like Shaun the Dead.
No. It's the kind of thing we would have made at grammar school as a film experiment. It feels. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's hard to explain. I just haven't found it funny.
But I did a joke about Chernobyl fallout earlier, and you laughed like a fucking dragon.
Yeah, it wasn't so much that joke was funny, but that you made that joke.
I just love all those Simon Pegg, Nick Frost.
No.
You know, Spaced. I thought was fantastic. Shaun the Dead. Oh man.
I think Simon Pegg, when he was in the Fast Show doing skits and oh no, was it Big Train? One or the other.
Big Train was genius.
Big Train was brilliant. Yeah. That was hilarious, and Simon Pegg was fantastic in it. Especially the sketch where he claimed he couldn't speak English. No, mate, I don't know English. I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah, still, that's so classic, funny.
Yeah.
So funny.
But the films, you know, when he went into films, I didn't really, you know, I think something got lost for me in that.
Did you? I mean, they are particularly English, and now that we are multinational podcast, you know, I think that, you know, Spaced was just all about nerds and pop culture, really, which I think we can relate to because we've always been quite big fans of pop culture and always known these obscure references to things.
The subject matter,
but I think they carried that over into Shaun the Dead, and Shaun the Dead was just a pastiche like of an English, very English pastiche on George Romero films, which we both love.
Yeah, and on paper, both Spaced and Shaun of the Dead ought to have worked. And I tried them both, but for, like you with Replacements, everybody was saying, these are so funny, and I'm watching them thinking, I don't know what I'm missing. I'm not getting it. But unlike you, I didn't
a sense of humour. I'd imagine you're missing.
But then, like you, I didn't try and wrestle with them over the course of subsequent years to try and like them. I just thought, well, I don't like them. I don't know why. It didn't really matter. I just don't like them.
I'm really surprised that you don't appreciate them.
Yeah, I should perhaps at some point have another stab. I haven't had a look at either of them or any of them for years. But there's so much.
I mean,
so much stuff.
Even World's End was.
I'd never seen.
Even World's End was pretty good.
Never bothered with it.
I mean, because that was kind of a, going back to being 30, 40-year-olds and going back to your childhood haunts.
Yeah.
And there's the one mate who's never left.
Yeah.
And,
they did Paul as well, wasn't there? Paul about the alien.
Yeah, Paul was okay. I need to rewatch that, to be honest. But Hot Fuzz was a great, another pastiche of cop films, but kind of American all-action cop films set in a sleepy English village. Anyway, this is a music podcast, not a film podcast. So I digress. Anyway, so Ramona by Beck. So Beck wrote the song Ramona as a love song to Ramona Flowers, and it kind of passed me by. I was aware of his existence vaguely when I watched the film several times. And then I went on holiday this year with Annie, my youngest, who is now 18. And since the divorce, I've taken them on holiday every year, either, with Lily as well. And then Lily just got, didn't really want to come and he wasn't enjoying it. So just me and Annie have been away on summer holiday for 3 years, and when we got back, she put a video together of all the little snippets of our holiday, and soundtracked it with Ramona, because Ramona is her middle name. She's Annie Ramona High, after the Ramones, which she's kind of. I think we may have broached on this before. Yeah. She loved, hated, loved, hated, loved, hated, and now loves having Ramona as her middle name, because her friends just think he's a bit cool and odd. And so she soundtracked this this video with Ramona, and she just made such a good job of it. The first time I watched it, I cried like a baby. It was just such a lovely thing that she did for me, and she really put so much love into it, and she's such a good little filmmaker. She's studying film at college, and she's so good. She's so much better than she even thinks she is, I think.
I have seen that. You shared the thing with me, and I've seen it, and it's very clever, very well done.
And I just kind of, rightly or wrongly, just look at it as a bit of a just a love letter to her dad, really. Just, and I love it. I can feel myself getting a bit teary-eyed just thinking about it, just talking about it. No, I'll try not to, no, because I'm big and hard and tough, so I won't get teary-eyed. But yeah, it's just so that song has gone from relative obscurity to being something. I mean, I still watch the bloody video, every time I'm a bit down the dumps, or every time she's pissed me off, or asked for money, or maybe go and pick her up from Cambridge in the middle of the fucking night, or from her mate's house at 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning. I just watch it just to remember how much I love her. She's just such a delightful kid, and yeah. So
that's lovely.
That's just my last one is Ramona by Beck.
Well,
So,
it's a lovely reason to have it on there. If not a great song, I don't know. I can't remember the song. I know you shared that video with me, but I can't remember the song.
It's a great song. It's really, I mean, it's basically just him repeating Ramona a lot, the majority of it. But it just fits. It fits perfectly. It's such a lovely song. So just everyone who thinks I'm hard and I've got a soft
I don't think there's anybody
me,
that thinks that. I think
I'm a very sensitive person.
Oh, and on that emotional note, that's our episode
done
to the end. So next
we've
time
covered everything.
We've been all over.
There's been history. Yeah. There's been Russian knob jokes and we've covered. We've covered. I would imagine we'll lose quite a few listeners after this one.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's been good. It's been fun.
Soon be back down to 30 listeners per episode. They'll probably be the first to go. My mum will listen to it and go, "What do you mean I'm going to survive a nuclear war, you bastard?" Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, next time round we're doing some of the great gigs we've been to, I think.
Yes, that's a good idea.
I think
I will. I will try not to do more from like when I was 12 or whatever. That's tricky, really, isn't it? I mean, I kind of. It's the same with everything. I try really hard to, to not kind of encompass everything in a certain time period. Yeah. I like to try and do something relatively new and kind of run the gamut really from when we first listened to music to up to today. So I think doing gigs, I don't know whether to have a self-imposed, or we could do one. I mean, in theory, we could do one per decade.
Well, I've put a list of my 5 together, and I had to be quite cognizant of the fact that I've seen hundreds and hundreds of bands, but a lot of them I can only remember a few minutes here and a few minutes there, and they don't make for a very good story. But I've got a list of gigs that I can remember, so I've kind of got that prepared. Just need to write a bit about.
Yeah, I haven't actually done any preparation for that at all as yet.
Okay.
But I could. It shouldn't take that long. No. I'll try and do ones I haven't mentioned before. But yeah, it's I mean, a couple of the early ones. I remember enough to kind of. I remember enough about the before, during, and after to be able to put together a coherent story about it. I'm not. There's a lot of them. I couldn't go. Oh yes, and then they played this, and then they played that, because the whole thing just kind of blurs as a, as one. I mean, and that's without drinking.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that you can do. I mean, there's several of the gigs that I've been to, and I can remember enough about it to tell a story, but I can't remember exactly what songs they played. But there are websites that say, gig history. You can say on this day I went to see this band at this time, and they'll give you the full set list. Oh fucking hell, yeah.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Quite
brilliant.
Useful.
I've got a couple where I found one in particular where I found a really dodgy sounding bootleg of it. But enough to kind of go, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that as well. Yeah. There's one in particular I'm thinking. I won't tell you what it is, obviously, because it'll probably go on the list. Years later went, so that did happen at that gig, And then there were a couple of others where, people have told me. I mean, one particular Killing Joke gig where Neil filled me in on some of the missing details, and I was like, and I remembered kind of before and after, and he filled me in on the during, which was interesting. And there were a few.
Give it some thought. Then, as I say, I've got my list of 5 ready for that one, and next time round, that's what we will be presenting to our massive audience. Yes. Okay. So, in that case, we'll wrap things up and say good night, everybody. Assuming you're listening to it at night, obviously, because
or good whatever time of the day you might be listening to this.
Farewell.
Buenas noches. Bon nuit.
Oh no.
We're multilingual now. You know, we've gone all over. Somehow we've gone all over the world. So, good day, mate.
Well, that'd be the opposite end, wouldn't it? You'd be fool.
Yeah, true. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Fair
well,
enough.
Thank you for listening as always, and look forward to joining with everybody next time round.
Yep. See you all soon. Bye bye.